I had the most incredible thing happen to me this morning, and I'm going to try to talk as fast as possible and get the whole story in and not be really long. So, I was driving to work. I had just stopped and got coffee and a bagel, and I took my eyes off the road for momentarily so I could move the coffee from the back slot to the forward slot so it was closer to me. And out of the corner of my eye, I see movement, and I look over, and it's the most incredible, most beautiful doe I've ever seen in my life. Just hops right over the guardrail and starts sauntering her way across this really busy road. Like, you're never the only one. They call this the drag strip. Like, this is a busy road. It's just me on the road. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this deer is just walking in front of me. And she's like 5 feet in front of me, and she stops and she turns and she looks at me and makes eye contact with me. And then I swear to God, she smiled at me. And I'm like, hi, baby girl, what you doing? What are you doing out here? And she just like turns her head back around and starts like meandering across the road again. She stops and I'm like, oh my God, I have to take a picture. And I take a picture, and of course it came out crappy, and I'll show it to you at the end of this. And she just hops right back over the guardrail, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, oh, I gotta drive. Like, I'm like in the middle of the road, I'm gonna get hit. Like, I can't just stop here. And I drive, and all of a sudden, like in less than a minute, this huge motorcycle run comes by, and there's like 8 cops, and they're driving on my side of the road, and I had to pull over, and I'm like, oh my goodness, that was a sign. Like, that beautiful baby girl was a sign. And I'm like, what was I thinking about? Because that's what I always tell people before, like when they say to me, I saw this thing, and what's the sign? What does that mean? I'm like, you have to figure it out yourself. And I'm like, what was I thinking about before? And I'm like, I was thinking about my coffee was in the wrong spot. But really, I've been working with these 2 incredible mentors of mine in the last week, and I've released a lot of stuff, and it's been hard because change is hard. And so it was like a big reminder to me, a big like, hey, you're doing the right thing. Because I asked my guides to show me really big signs. Like, I need really big things. And a deer walking out in the middle of a very busy road with no cars was a big thing. And so I'm ever so grateful that I was able to see her. It was the most beautiful and serene like moment. Shh, my bird's screaming at us. And I'm so grateful for it. And I had to share it with you guys, because when signs happen, ask yourself why I'm seeing this. And I was seeing it because I needed to know that everything was going to be okay. And he has a picture of her. She's so incredible. So this is her right before she jumped over that guardrail and just disappeared into nowhere again. It was amazing.